The Silent Letters podcast is an extension of the Slater's Playhouse advice column. Like the blog, the podcast focuses primarily on responding to letters related to love, sex, romance, and relationships. However, the podcast airs some of our coaching sessions. Though everything we say during our podcast may not be what each and every person wants to hear, just know the advice is situational and catered to a specific person. With coaching, we do not tell others what they need to do. However, we provide them with suggestions of what they can do. Our coaching sessions are not a replacement for therapy. We focus on the future and look to the past for guidance only. If you desire to have a coaching session with us, please schedule your appointment on our website. If not, feel free to submit your letters to our advice column. And welcome to the Silent Letters podcast. The question for this episode is it okay to be selfish? Well, is it okay not to be? I really have to say that we, as a society, need to move away from the mindset that selfishness is an innate wrong. The term selfish, using dictionary.com, is defined as of a person, action, or motive lacking consideration for others, concerned chiefly with one's own personal profits or pleasure. But why is this bad? I understand how lacking consideration for others can be viewed negatively. So here's a question for you. If someone were to tell you that they will give you $5 million and all you have to do is use it on yourself and no one else, would you do it? Those of you who said you would not take the offer is missing out on your blessing. I'm quite sure some may want to make the argument that they are incapable of being that selfish. They care too much about the well-being of others to not help them. Here's my rebuttal. Just because you just earned $5 million for yourself does not mean you have to leave your day job, which is a source of income that you can easily donate to help others. So why miss out on your blessing? If you did not figure this out by this point, blessings also come to selfish individuals. Now, let's focus on the second half of that definition, concerned chiefly with one's own personal profit or pleasure. Where's the issue? We have to get used to being selfish. Some benefits come from it. How do you expect to grow when you are sharing all that you have with others? Imagine that you are a seedling. You receive your water and begin to sprout roots in the soil. From the soil, water, and sun, you gain nutrients. There are other plants around you. Some are beginning to blossom, others are on the verge of withering. Your concern is not the plants around you, but it is making sure that you do not wither and die. Your goal is to grow. What part of this scenario are you required to assist in the growth of the other plants? Now, I'm not saying that you should not help others and be selfless. I am saying that it is perfectly fine to be selfish. Someone might be asking, but what if you were in a relationship? What about it? People like to think you cannot be selfish in a relationship. Yes, being in a relationship does mean that you are supposed to share in terms of marriage, become one. But you forget that you are still two individuals. Practicing a non-selfish relationship will lead to codependency or a lack of identity. You go from being Tia to becoming Tia and Tamara. It is all cute being permanently associated with each other until that moment hits when you need to breathe. I'm only suggesting that you breathe throughout the entire relationship. For example, if your partner wants to go on a 2-day trip with their family, you do not have to go. If your partner wants to go visit some of their relatives during the holiday season, you do not have to go. Do you want to know why I say this? Because they chose to be in a relationship with you. This time apart is not you all breaking up. If you feel as though it is now time for you to reflect on your relationship and figure out what is really going on. In addition to this, people are so quick to talk about how they need to reclaim the time they have wasted on people they have broken up with. There is no need to reclaim time when you use your time wisely. Time is something none of us can get back. Most of you are wasting your time just by attempting to reclaim it from the other party. This is how you reclaim your time. You get over the individual, you work on yourself. That can be healing, self-reflecting, finding who you are without them, focusing on what you want in life, and you grow. Think of reclaiming your time as redeeming experience points. I am not saying that you have to be selfish at all times. I am saying that it is perfectly fine to be selfish. I am a firm believer in taking time out of our days and reflecting. It is not for everyone, but it is extremely useful. You are 100% capable of growing individually. Yes, you can grow as a collective. You can outgrow someone. You can help others in their growth, or even have the other outgrow you. But the main purpose is to never stop growing. Thank you for listening to the Silent Letters podcast. You can subscribe to the podcast through your favorite podcasting app and find us on the web at slatersplayhouse.com. That's SLAYTORS playhouse.com.